In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bet slate for Sunday, March 17th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our March 17th NBA bet slate for Sunday we got going on. But before I deep dive into that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNetSD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. We're going to be talking about that very, very soon. Right now, we're at the YouTube page. Look at what God can do, guys. You guys came in and supported your boy. We are at over. I don't know how it happened. Yeah. I don't know how it happened. But we are over 2,000 subscribers. Can we get to 3? Can we get to 3 in one day? Can we do that? That was a phenomenal showing that you guys did for the Saturday video. 3,000 views and over 100 subscribers on that video alone. Continue to support, and I'm gonna keep bringing you these good plays. All right, that's the best I can do. All right, so if you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment to help that YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed, why don't you join the team and join everyone else? We having fun out here. You see the wins down below. We see the banter going back and forth. Join the community right now. Hit that subscribe button. All right. Now for the Patreon. So far, as of right now, I'm going to say that we are. As of right now, I'm going to say that we are undefeated so far. We're waiting on the Timberwolves game and we're waiting on the Knicks game. I am not counting this Lakers game because Anthony Davis left the game early. All right, I'm not counting it. That don't count. Everything else came through. Rockets came through and outright won by double digits. Pacers had the money line and they covered that 4. 76ers had the money line and they actually won by 11 points. So I kind of doubted them for a little bit, but they came through. We're waiting on the Timberwolves. As of right now, the Timberwolves, they're up by 8 points. That's in the third quarter. And the Knicks are up at halftime by 5. All right. So we're waiting on those last 2 to come in, and we'll sweep for 2 days in a row. So get signed up right now. That Patreon link is provided down below. First up on the slate for Sunday, Phoenix Suns 39-28 going against the Milwaukee Bucks, who are 43-24. The current odds right now, you get the Bucks at home at a -135, with the Suns on the get back at a +110. The current point spread is at a 2.5 on both sides. So very, very tightly contested game here with the money line. For the total, we're looking at a 227 on both sides. All right. The current public bet percentage, 81% of the bets, 82% of the money on the money line towards the Bucks, 54% of the bets, 67% of the money towards Milwaukee to cover the spread. And we have 64% of the bets, 66% of the money towards the under 227.5. For the injury report, we're waiting on news for the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, we're waiting for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is currently questionable, and Malik Beasley is questionable. The good news for the Bucks is that Chris Middleton is finally back. Their sharpshooting 3-point shooter. He's going to be back in the lineup here. So still waiting on news for Beasley and Giannis. Those are key factors in this game. I imagine Giannis would play in this game, but definitely stay tuned to news, pay attention, and then we can finally come up with a ultimate decision when we get who's going to be in or out. All right. In that previous matchup between these two teams, the Bucks and the Suns won at home with that total being at 220 points. This is the second and final meeting between these two teams back in Milwaukee. Okay, so depending on news with Giannis, if Giannis is in, we're going to take the money line of the Milwaukee Bucks at home. I think they get revenge in this spot here against the Phoenix Suns. The spread is pretty close, 2.5. If you feel comfortable taking that 2.5 points, you want to risk it. The chances of it, I mean, it could happen, but if you are just give me the money line. Milwaukee Bucks money line is the safest play here that I would agree with if Giannis is in. And for the total over or under, I would lean towards the over in this game between these two teams. Very high octane offenses here, especially if Giannis is even out. Then we could be seeing a lot of 3-point balls here in this game. Very similar to what we saw against Phoenix and the Boston Celtics a couple days ago. All right, so over 227.5, but my top play here is Bucks money line. Next game we have the Miami Heat, who are 36-30, going against the Detroit Pistons, who are 12-54. The current odds right now, you can get the Miami Heat at a -275 on the money line, with the Detroit Pistons coming back on a +220. The current point spread is at 6.5. The total points are at right now at a 214.5. Public bet percentage right now, 92% of the bets, 93% of the money on Miami to win outright. For the point spread, 67% of the bets, 73% of the money on Miami to cover the spread. And the total points, 89% of the bets, 87% of the money towards the over 214.5. All right. For the injury report, Tyler Hero is going to be reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks, and Jimmy Butler is currently questionable. So stay tuned to news if Jimmy Butler is going to be in or out in this particular game. Miami Heat are on the front end of a back-to-back. They do play the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow. All right. Monday, excuse me. For the injury report for the Detroit Pistons, we're waiting on news about Cade Cunningham, Quentin Grimes, and Oscar Thompson are going to be out of this game on Sunday. So Cade Cunningham is a big Q tag there. So we're waiting on two important people, Jimmy Butler and Cade Cunningham. Looking at the season series between these two teams, they faced each other 3 times already. This is the 4th and final matchup. The first game was 205 total. The second game was a 228 total. And then the third game was a 203 total. And this is the third and final matchup. Pistons have not won any of these games. Miami is going for the series sweep. All right. So looking at the total, let's see if we can get this number here. We had a 205, 228, and a 203. Both of those games went. So I would lean towards the under in this matchup between the Heat and the Pistons. Give me the under. I'm going to fade the public here. Give me the under 214 and for the total. If I'm choosing the best value other than the total, give me the +6.5. I like going opposite in these back-to-back meetings here. Miami can get the win, but they set the number exactly the same as the first matchup. So give me the Detroit Pistons, give me that 6.5. I'll take them in this 4th and final matchup at home. Gonna play scrappy. And hey, we're waiting on news about Jimmy Butler. If he's out, that helps things for the Detroit Pistons side. So Pistons +6.5 is going to be my main bet. Next up, we have a premier matchup in the Western Conference. Denver Nuggets, 47-20, going up against the Dallas Mavericks, who are 38-29. Looking at the current odds, you have the Denver Nuggets on the money line at a -145, with the comeback on the Dallas Mavericks at home at a +120. The point spread is at a 2.5 on both sides, with the current total at 225.5. Current public bet percentage right now, 79% of the bets, 99% of the money towards the Denver Nuggets to win. 82% of the bets, 91% of the money towards Denver to cover. And we have 81% of the bets and 73% of the money towards the over 225.5. For the Denver Nuggets, there is no injury report. For the Dallas Mavericks, we have to wait on news on 2 players. All right, Josh Green is going to be out of this game. They're missing their 3-point shooter there. Dante Exum is questionable, and Luka Doncic is questionable with a hamstring injury. So that could be 2 huge losses there. Luka did not play in the previous game for the Dallas Mavericks, so he might miss this game as well against the Denver Nuggets. These 2 teams have faced each other twice already. This is the 3rd and final matchup. The Denver Nuggets are going for the series sweep here on March 17th. All right, so for the first game, that was a Denver win. That was a total of 239. The second game was another Denver win. That was a total of 234. And right now, you got the over-under at a 225.5. I'm going to be leaning towards a 225.5 over. All right, it's the same thing. If Luka's out, I'm still going to be leaning towards the over because how bad this Dallas Mavericks team's defense is. And I know Dallas can still put up points. Tim Hardaway, Kyrie Irving, guys like that are going to be very efficient and try to keep up pace with the Denver Nuggets, all right? So we're going to go with the over. And as of right now, with the news waiting on Luka Doncic and Dante Exum, I'm still going to take the Denver Nuggets money line here at the minus 145. You can skip the point spread. Just give me the win. That's the key factor there. Denver Nuggets money line and over 225.5. Next game up, this is a back-to-back here for the Toronto Raptors and the Orlando Magic. They just face each other on the 15th. Raptors coming in 23-44, and Orlando Magic are 39-28, and this is in Orlando. Current odds right now, you can get the Magic at home at a minus 650, with the comeback on the Raptors at a plus 475 on the money line. Looking at the point spread, it has jumped up a point to 11.5 for both sides here. And the total is currently 215.5. All right. For the public bet percentage, 94% of the bets, 95% of the money towards Orlando on the money line. For the point spread, it's split down the middle pretty much. Bets and money split down the middle for that 11.5. Okay. And for the total, 80% of the bets, 73% of the money towards the over 215.5. The key guy who we're going to be waiting on is going to be RJ Barrett. As we know so far right now, there is no timetable for his return because he just horrible loss to his brother a few days ago. So RJ Barrett is still not ready or prepared to come back and play. They're going to be without him in this game going against the Orlando Magic. All right. Looking at these two guys, these two teams here, they played twice already. The first total was 233, and then the second total was at the 216 number. So my favorite play right now is going to be the under 215. So I like the under 215 in this particular game. They just faced each other. Obviously, there are going to be some defensive adjustments for both teams, so it's going to make things a little bit harder for each other here. And the next best play here, give me the plus an 11.5, right? Orlando Magic in the previous game, they covered the spread and beat the Raptors. I like teams when you get these scenarios of back-to-back, the opposite tends to happen here. Give me the 11.5. I'll take the points. I mean, it could be a 10-point game, but guess what? That means I covered, all right? And I got the best value available on that particular game. So give me the Raptors. They're still playing motivated. They're going to play even more motivated once RJ Barrett comes back. But give me 11.5, safe and secure. I understand how good the Orlando Magic are against the spread, but this is a back-to-back scenario here against the same exact team. So I like the 11.5 and the under 215.5. Next up, we have the Boston Celtics, 52-14, going up against the Washington Wizards, 11-56. Looking at the current odds, you can get the Boston Celtics at a minus 550 on the money line. No value there. And for the get back, the Washington Wizards, you can get them at a plus 400. For the point spread, it is at a 10.5 on both sides, with the total at 232.5. All right. Looking at the public bet percentage here, 95% of the bets, 99% of the money on the Celtics to win. For the point spread, 86% of the bets, 90% of the money towards the Celtics to cover. And we have, for the total, 77% of the bets, 79% of the money towards the under 232.5. Okay. For the injury report here, there will be no Derek White. So no Derek White and no Kristaps Porzingis. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are currently questionable. So wait on news for Tatum and Brown, but White and Porzingis are out. For the Wizards, we're waiting on two Q-tag guys. Tyus Jones is Q-tag, and Denny Advija is going to be questionable as well. So we're waiting for those two guys. Looking at the previous two matchups between these two teams, so far the Celtics are winning the season series 2-0. The total of the first game was 233 points, and the total of the second game was 262 points. All right, so looking at that total, I'm going to go towards the over. I'm going to fade the public here, going towards the under. I like the over 232.5. when it rains, it pours when it comes to the Boston Celtics. They are not shy of running up the score on a team, and Wizards have enough scoring to keep up pace, but they're still going to get blown out, all right? So I imagine this game to be at least Washington to get to that 110 range, and you can definitely most likely see the Boston Celtics in that 120 to 130 range and hit the over. All right. If we're choosing a point spread here, obviously there's no value on the money line. I do believe the Celtics will cover the spread at 10.5. Washington Wizards is just a team you cannot trust. Anytime you think, oh, this might be the game, they let you down. They find another way to let you down. They're very creative at finding ways of not coming through for you. All right, so we're taking the Celtics. This is a clean sweep, money line, point spread, and the over 232.5. Next up, we have the Brooklyn Nets, who are 26-41, going up against the San Antonio Spurs, who are 14-53. Looking at the current odds right now, very tightly contested matchup here between these two poor teams in the Nets and the Spurs. It's pretty much a pick 'em. You can get the Spurs at a -115 on the money line, with the Brooklyn Nets on the comeback at a -105. The current point spread is at a 1.5 on both sides, with the total at 220.5. Looking for the public bet percentage, 68% of the bets, 79% of the money towards the Spurs to win. For the point spread, 57% of the bets, 63% of the money towards the Spurs to cover. And we have 79% of the bets, 78% of the money towards the over 220.5. All right. No significant injuries as of right now for either team. Cedi Osman, if you consider a significant injury, he is currently questionable as of right now. So wait on news for him. For these two teams, they already played each other in February. That was a total of 226 in that game. This is their final matchup between the Nets and the Spurs. Both of these teams are coming in on losing streaks. And the Brooklyn Nets are a very long road trip here, and they're getting their butts kicked here. So the Nets have lost 4 out of their last 5 games. Same thing with the Spurs. Spurs are on a home trip here, but this seems like a winnable game for them. All right, so some key factors to help us make this decision between the Nets and the Spurs. It relies to me in against the spread numbers. All right, so against the spread, the Nets away are 11-21 away against the spread. That is alarming. Under 500. And as underdogs, they are 16-24. So they do not cover away and as underdogs. The benefit here for the Spurs as favorites, and they're not usually favored in many games. They are 4-1 against the spread as favorites. So we're going to be going with the Spurs to get revenge. Give me the money line on the San Antonio Spurs here. If you feel fine taking that point spread, go ahead, but you might as well just take the money line. And if we're choosing an over or an under of 220.5, I'm going to be leaning towards the over. All right, over for for this particular game. That's not my favorite play. My favorite play is Spurs money line. All right, let's move on to the final matchup. Last but not least, we have the Atlanta Hawks 29-37 going up against the LA Clippers, who are 42-24. Looking at the current odds, you can get the Clippers at a -500 on the money line, with the Hawks on the other side at a +375. Current point spread right now is at a 9.5 on both sides, with the total at 226.5. Public bet percentage here right now, 93% of the bets, 86% of the money towards the Clippers to win. For the point spread, 67% of the bets, 70% of the money towards the Clippers to cover that 9.5. And for the total, 70% of the bets, 65% of the money towards the over 226.5. The Hawks lost one of their main key guys, at Saddiq Bey. He went out for the year. Jalen Johnson came back. So that's a positive, and Bogdanovich should be able to play in this game. So Hawks are looking the best that they can. with no Trae Young and no Sadiq Bey here. For the Clippers, they have some more injuries. Obviously, Westbrook is out for the rest of the season. Norman Powell and James Harden are questionable. James Harden has missed the past 2 games. So this could be a third game in a row where he misses, and this gives an opportunity for the Atlanta Hawks to keep things a little bit closer than usual. All right. Looking at these 2 teams here, they already played each other. That was in Atlanta in February. That was an outrageous total of 293, and that was a win by the Clippers. This is their second and final matchup here. Can Atlanta split this season series here? All right, this is in LA. Hawks are on a 3-game losing streak, and they had a very close game against Utah. All right, so where am I going in this one? All right, so I'm going to be leaning towards the points for the Atlanta Hawks. It was plus 10 when I seen it, but give me the Atlanta Hawks plus 9.5. If you can get 10 on other books, take that, so you can at least bump it up all the way. Don't lose on half a point. So I like the Hawks plus 10, or you can get 9.5 in this particular game here against the LA Clippers. Wait on news about Norman Powell and James Harden. If both of those guys are out, that's going to bode well for Atlanta Hawks. So I'd hop on this number as of right now, because if anything, with news, I think it gets lower than higher. All right, so give me this high number right now at 10 or 9.5 before it gets to a 8 or a 7, depending on injury news for those LA Clippers here. And if we're going to choose an over-under, give me the over 226.5 points. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys continue to support your boy, and also continue to shout out you guys and bring that positive energy to these videos, and bring my best plays as well. All right, so if you want these winning Patreon picks, that link is provided down below. Get ready for March Madness. Get ready for baseball. Get ready for NBA futures in the playoffs. All that's provided down low. Peace out, guys. I'll be back very soon with another video.